All right, we said almost a couple hours ago that everything was on the table, so I want to let you all have the last word about any issues that you'd like to wrap up with or close with. Yes, great.
Mr. Chairman, I guess one thing I would add to the discussion about natural gas vehicles is that there is a lot of innovation and creativity going on state by state with the utility commissions, with the local distribution companies, but it's all headed in different directions. I think, and I would thank you for this forum and for the ones that are coming in the future, because I think it would help the states to have a statement from the federal government about the national interest in getting to some specific milestones around refueling infrastructure. And I think as our work group proceeds, I'm hoping to bring to you some ideas about what those criteria milestones might be. But I think we need to harness the creativity at the statewide level that is moving, but maybe not all moving in a positive synergistic direction.
I think that's a good one to close on, because the point here is that a strategy to make the kinds of reforms you all have been talking about today a reality in this kind of climate is going to take a lot of innovation that comes from the private sector and it comes from the states. And the question is whether the federal government can, in effect, pick up on that and knit together some policies that will ensure that it's not just reserved to the nooks and crannies of Oregon, where we're proud to always be out in front in terms of innovating on the environment, but we can make it national in focus. And this is something Senator Murkowski and I have talked about on a number of occasions, because in many respects, I think there's a sense, well, why would the federal government be involved in natural gas? Now, obviously, with respect to some very significant environmental issues, climate change and related kinds of questions, particularly in light of the announcement just a few days ago with respect to the extraordinary implications of climate change. There's a federal role. But in many respects, I think people might say, why are we talking about the federal government being involved? And I think what we've picked up today is there are a host of areas where if you get it right, where if you don't just have some kind of top-down, one-size-fits-all strategy from Washington, D.C., you can really make a very significant contribution, particularly in light of what Greg Cantor is talking about, some of the innovation taking place in the states and in the private sector. That's exactly what we're all about. It's just what I was hoping for in terms of our first panel. You have made a real contribution with respect to transmission and innovation and transportation. I thank all of you, and please don't be shy about getting your ideas and suggestions in the days ahead. And I've been struck, this morning, certainly nothing partisan about what's been discussed today. It's a question whether you can really think through how to find a constructive role for the federal government in some essential areas, and you've helped move us in that direction. With that, the Energy Committee is adjourned.